totally washed out everywhere we go. In Myrtle Beach, like we were saying earlier, Cherry Grove, you kind of come to expect these things to happen. There are certain spots along the Grand Strand where flooding is just going to happen, even in a bad rainstorm. But Myrtle Beach, this is, not what you would typically see.
This is exceptional for Myrtle Beach. And to also see, as Emma was pointing out, the dunes, the water over the dunes, taking out the netting and the signs. That's an ominous sight to see here on our stretch of the coast today.
All right, now take a look at this. Like we were telling you, Pawleys Island Police Department just tweeted the end of the Pawleys Island Pier has collapsed, and pieces of the pier are now floating south out into the ocean. This is another look at that photo. We brought it to you about 10-15 minutes ago. This is a better shot here, and that encapsulates the power that this storm has.
Literally, if we saw this picture over in our weather center a few minutes ago, and if someone hadn't told us that was Pawleys Island Pier, I would have no idea where this is.
Yeah.
Like, that just is amazing to see that at this hour. The South Carolina District of the U.S. Postal Service, they are suspending their temporary suspension of retail, delivery operations in some portions of the state today. That includes, obviously, facilities in our area. Operations are suspended in most of Horry and Georgetown counties until further notice.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is in Surfside Beach where trees are down now. Amanda, another update too on the flooding. I don't know if you're by a tree right now. What's the situation out there?
Yeah, well, first, if you want to talk about the flooding first, we just worked our way up here from Garden City. So we went from the water to the wind effects. Garden City is very dangerous. I just want to warn everybody to stay away. Guacamole Drive is completely flooded, and the water is rushing over the road, coming in from the beach accesses and rushing. I mean, it's very dangerous, so stay clear of that entire area. We made our way back up to Surfside, and one of the beautiful things about Surfside is all of the trees. However, because of this wind and those wind gusts, you can see that some of those trees are coming down. Branches and leaves are all over the roadways, but then you have the large trees like this. As a matter of fact, this morning we were out here at 8 a.m. Just across the way, a large tree came down, and that was earlier before the wind gusts even got to what they are now, this increasing level. Down here, there's another large tree down over here, so definitely feeling the effects of the wind. Now, Surfside crews have been out, and they are putting out cones to warn people, where those trees or limbs are down. But again, I haven't seen any damaged homes yet, but we are just getting back into the Surfside area and looking around. But obviously, the wind with the trees, it's bound to happen, and it certainly is.
Amanda, thank you so much. So, and she just mentioned being able to travel over there, and that's one of the things that we just want to remind people: just stay off of the roadways. You also don't know when those trees are going to collapse. Yeah,
because you saw 2 there in yards, but like we've been talking about, there's so many in yards, but also already 18 now since noon in roadways, and you never know when that's going to happen, and it's just not worth taking any kind of risk.
And as we see these stronger winds come ashore, we've already got we've set the pace up because we've obviously been getting rain over for the past 12 hours now. So when you do talk about then getting those strong winds on top of it, that is when we are going to start to see trees come down and many more problems be created out there as well. Yeah,
so we are hearing also from Chief Hoffman with the Surfside Beach Police that much of Ocean Boulevard is now under a few inches of water. Officials advise do not drive in flooded areas. Again, this is the scene where Amanda was just checking out. It's Surfside Beach, Garden City. They're also dealing with flooding on the coast.
And as we talk about those trees, again, earlier we had reports of 6 trees down. I know that number has escalated dramatically. And those who do have to be out on the roadways, drive with caution. You don't have to be out there. We'll be reminding you throughout the day. We've been telling you all morning, just stay at home. We're seeing trees down in Florence and Darlington as well. And that obviously leading to a lot of the power outages that folks are dealing with today.
And ABC 15's Andrew James is covering the North Strand for us today. He is live for us right now. Andrew, earlier I saw you lost your hat. I'm glad to see that you got it back at least.
Sorry, Connor, Jen, if you're coming to us right now, I can barely hear you. The wind here is just surreal in Cherry Grove. It's hitting us really hard. We're on the Cherry Grove Pier. The pier itself has, in fact, been compromised. We are talking 20-foot plus swells here in North Myrtle Beach. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear me right now. I'm going to move out of the shot and let Jen Daya look at the swells. I'm going to try and move and guard the wind here, but the ocean is just wicked right now in the North Strand. We have So coastal surge has moved off of the ocean, moved off of the dunes, and is inundating portions of Ocean Boulevard here in Cherry Grove. We're right in the 40th Streets right now at the Prince Resort. We'll be kind of being home base for most of the afternoon now, to give you an idea of how just powerful these winds are. And this surge, like I said, we're talking 15 to 20 foot swells are now the norm up here. The beach is, you cannot walk on it at all in Cherry Grove. Some of these waves are battering the pier. Some boards have been knocked off. In fact, even the boards that we're standing on, some of the nails I feel are getting loose just because there's so much force coming from these waves here at the Cherry Grove Pier in North Myrtle Beach. If you recall, back during Isaias, one of the northern piers here, I want to say it was Sea Captain's, but I may be wrong, that pier was also compromised during that storm. And I can confirm that some deck boards have been dislodged from this pier here in Cherry Grove, and it's not open to the public, fortunately. There's nobody out here, just us. We were given access, thankfully, by folks at the resort to get an idea of the severity of this storm. And I mean, you can see it with your eyes. There's no beach right now. It's all the ocean. It is right to the doorstep of some properties. It is passing over the dunes. Many of these dunes are still in the, they weren't really completely back together from 2 years ago when Isaias came through here and completely shaved off the beach in Cherry Grove. But this is currently the scene that's unfolding here. Again, we're dealing with some serious conditions. As I move back into frame, this is what it is right now. The ocean is serious here in Cherry Grove, and on the other side, the creek is also flooded.